Does anyone have a question to ask?
Stuart, I'll ask you. There are different, so the energy is strong, and there are almost different ways of relating with the energy, or different experiences I have in relating with the energy. Could you maybe talk about some of the stages of as it grows of relating or being able to take in more of that energy?
Well, look, I've been doing this for a really long time. And it's two answers. I don't understand this. I have never understood it. Rudy never understood it. I do it because it works. And the only reason I relate to it is I have seen such enormous growth take place in my life. So many changes, transformations that have happened, which makes me relate to this. It's okay. This is a profound way of me living in a world that's a very difficult world. So, as far as any kind of understanding and explaining this, uh, I really can't do that because I don't. How do you understand God? How do you understand energy that's infinite in the universe? It's an impossibility. Do I relate to this? Absolutely. And the reason I relate to it is that the changes that have taken place inside me because of this meditation have been so profound and so deep that in all the years before I met Rudy, all the teachers I went to, books I read, and everything, even meditations I formulated myself that I was doing because I didn't know anything else. Mantras I had formulated, none of it worked like this. So I relate to the power and the strength of this meditation simply because it affected such profound change inside me that I have to be infinitely grateful. I don't have to understand it. I know that it has to be just a living experience. It has to be an energy force that transforms me inside. And I don't have to, understand anything else. It might be naive, it might be even simplistic. I don't know. But what I do know is that it works. And why not relate to something that works? Why not open and use it and develop your inner life with it? Make a commitment to something that works. I mean, whatever your profession is, anyone in this class, there are tools, there are crafts you have to learn. And when you learn the ones that really work in your profession, you use them. Whatever it happens to be, if it's art, if it's music, if law, whatever it is, accounting, I don't care what the profession is. There are instruments in that profession that work. And in order to be successful at the profession, we have to use them. And I spent 9 years of my life bouncing around the world, from Swami to guru to yogi to this one, priests and rabbis, and I couldn't find anything that worked for me. And when I met Rudy, what he taught me was outside my realm of comprehension. But I only knew that on the level that I opened to it, approached it, did it every day, it was working for me. And it was helping my inner life evolve and change and grow. And I said, what am I going to do? I said, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? But use what truly is helping me to grow in my life. And you can intellectualize anything, you can you can even badmouth anything. You can find negative I mean, you can sit in heaven and find 50 things wrong. Really, you don't like pastels, you don't like the pearly gates, too many angels floating around. I mean, there's always things we can find that don't quite, we don't quite like. I mean, but then, instead of dwelling on things we don't like, we have to relate to what really is giving us our life and then use it in a very practical sense and use it every day. So, it's the best I can do with that question. I don't know. I don't,
Thank you, Stuart.
you're welcome. Yes, Brenda.
Stuart, do you think that the nature of the energy moving through you, because of the teachers that you've met and the people that kind of walk with you, the beings, whatever you want to call it, do you think that they are affecting you in a different way than, let's say, someone else? It could be a different energy moving through a different teacher.
Well, look, Brenda, I don't, look, whatever works for a person, I'm 100% behind. I don't think that what I do, what Rudy did, is the only pathway to God. There are many, many pathways. And what doesn't work for me can certainly work for somebody else. So I am not putting that down. I'm not putting those teachers down.
No, what I'm saying is, for whatever reason, I find myself growing with you in a way spiritually that is very rapid, that is very intense and easier for me than other teachers that I've worked with. So I'm not putting down any other teachers.
My dear, continue working here. Do this work. It's obviously working for you and it's helping you to grow in your life. What more can I ask?
Yeah.
What more can I ask? Really, what you just said to me is the greatest gift anyone can give me. This really is amazing. It works. It's helping me to grow. I am growing faster. And I'm not in competition. This is not the tortoise and the hare here, running some kind of a race. It's whatever works for people.
Yes.
What I do doesn't work for everybody. There are many people that have left these classes. I don't begrudge them. I'm not angry at them. I don't, they have to find what works for them.
Yes.
I just, okay, God bless you, and I wish you the best. So what you said to me is a great blessing to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have and I'll just add an addendum to this. While I was with Rudy, it was so difficult. It was so difficult to be next to somebody who was a constant reminder of that I was living in the University of Schmuckdom and that I had to work my way out of the University of Schmuckdom. And, he created a humility in me that I didn't have. And he made me look in the mirror and confront Stuart. This is who you are. This is what you have to grow past. This is what you have to work with in this point of your life and learn how to transform into something of a higher nature. And I can't tell you how many times in my head, what am I doing here? Get out of here. This is crazy. I don't have a place to sleep in his house. I'm living in his house. I have nowhere to sleep. And then I once complained to him and he pointed at a weed growing in the crack in a New York City sidewalk. And he said, that weed has more guts than you. How do you answer that? I mean, can you imagine the courage it takes to grow and live your life in the crack of a New York City sidewalk? I mean, it's extraordinary. I mean, the aphorism is beyond anything, And I never opened my mouth. I never complained again. And then it all changed. It always changes. So what I'm saying is that this whole thing of running away is indigenous to doing deep spiritual work, because really deep spiritual work will make you look at yourself in the mirror and see exactly what is there, not some illusion you have of yourself, but exactly what is there. And then you truly have to deal with it. You have to change. You have to grow. And I will always be grateful to Rudy for having been a person in my life who was a constant reminder that I hadn't arrived yet, that I really needed to grow every day of my life. And his presence always reminded me of that. At first, it was the most painful thing I ever went through. And then I began to realize, Stuart, where else are you going to find this? Who else on the planet Earth is going to be willing to do this for you? My parents weren't. Friends I had weren't, you know? And God bless them. I'm not upset at them or anything, but Rudy did. And it was really difficult to confront myself and to realize at one point in my career with Rudy, I was living in the University of Schmuckdom. And that had to change. And it did, because he forced me to work in such depth inside that I had to change. I had no choice but to change. And as many times in my head as I wanted to run away, I always wound up laughing. Where the hell are you going to go? Who is going to teach you anything like this? Who on this planet can teach us anything like this? So I stayed. And for God's sake, it worked. Thank God it worked. Thank Rudy for having the patience with his student who was living in the University of Schmuckdom when he first arrived on the scene. You know? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And it's good to look in a mirror and really see what's there, not some delusional image, some piece of Maya that you've created about yourself. What is really there? And then say, this is what I got to work against. It's good to have somebody in your life who is willing to remind you of that lovingly, not because they want to put you down, but because they want you to grow. They want you to develop your life, to graduate from that university. And that was my relationship with Rudy. He was a constant reminder, but he did it with love. And he did it because he cared. And he also did it because he needed somebody to pass his teachings on to. And that I didn't even get from him. His mother told me that. Anyway, okay, enough of this. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I hope all this is clear. You know, I'm not saying this to put people down. I love you all. I want everyone here to grow. I would love to pass this teachings on to every single one of you so that you in turn can pass them on to somebody else. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. Well, this has been pretty strong stuff. I hope you all can digest it. I hope I see you all in class on Thursday. Very strong stuff. But God bless you all for being here, for dragging this strong stuff out of me, this level of teaching. Thank God for you all for being here, and in all humility, it just touches me very deeply in my heart. And I can connect with people on this kind of level. So bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be a meditation class tomorrow evening. I hope to see you all then. Bless you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Night.